Oh, no, 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 no. Oh.
So this is where we're at. The bathhouse comes tomorrow. It's been a multi-month process to get here, from getting in trouble for the showers, to designing it, to getting it produced in Michigan, to preparing this area. And of course, of all weeks, of all days, it's been raining all day today. It's gonna be raining all day tomorrow. There's word on the street that it's gonna be a little bit difficult to get off the truck. We have to get it on these piers and fasten it down for it to be structural. These piers here go 52 inches into the ground, and we just put them in yesterday because the original plan was to keep it classified as an RV and just lay it here on the gravel and then have the hookups be RV hookups. Municipalities are all different. He threw a last minute curveball at us and said, if it's gonna be an RV, it needs to have wheels on it. So I thought that we could actually still have it as an RV because it has a VIN number and a title without it having wheels. But once he said that, we decided, all right, we gotta get the permit for piers and we gotta do it right. So everything's above board right now. We're not putting a pier in the middle here because this is where our hookups are. So underneath here is septic. This is the water line. Our electric is still stubbed up as if it was an RV. Take the wire in a conduit underneath the gravel into here. All of this is going to be done in the next 24 to 48 hours. And by this weekend, we should have an operational bathhouse right here.
I think we're gonna give it a shot and see how it goes. Is gonna try to back here, but he's concerned about those 3 vehicles.
The arrival of this semi-truck was the beginning of an all-day saga of getting this bathhouse off the truck and about 100 yards into the campground to where it eventually needed to go. And it's not that we haven't had shipments to the campground before. We've had dome tents, hot tubs, saunas, massive shipments of wood to build up the campground over the last few years, but never something this large. This bathhouse is 5,000 pounds, and even getting the truck in the campground alone was a massive challenge. But once we did, it was clear that it was on the wrong truck to be able to easily get it off. And that was the next challenge that we had to address. What do we got going on here?
We have a lot going on. Semi bathhouse. Now we have a telepath, I think is what it's called. And it's going to lift the bathhouse onto PVC, and we're gonna roll it into its final destination.
Isn't that sort of how they built like the pyramids? Didn't they like roll like the big blocks?
We're just going back to the ancient times.
On logs.
What works? First, they delivered the wrong trailer back in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So that was a pivoting moment. So because it was put on the wrong trailer, but it already had all the permits attached, so we went with it. Now we had to rent this kind of like sky lift tracker.
It's technically an oversized load, but it doesn't need a escort vehicle,
yes,
right?
No escort. So this is a prototype. We've learned so many great things. Maybe make it a little bit smaller next time.
Maybe hold the rain too.
Yep, no rain would be great.
Would be really good. We'll know exactly what to do for the next one. I mean, we have another one delivering.
The next one is going to Oklahoma, and it's already went so much smoother. So we're excited for the smooth ride. No more of these bumpy rides. Like, the idea is to
lift it off and
put it on, and then with the teeth on the front to push it. We'll see if the PVC does its job. This is crazy.
So at this point in the process, everybody's soaking wet and freezing cold. But there was one guy that wasn't even a part of the crew that was the most integral part of the process. And he was a guest at Ferncrest that day. Yeah, this guy pictured right here. He was staying at Ferncrest for his birthday of all days, there with his wife. And he said when the bathhouse rolled in there, he couldn't help it. He wanted to be a part of the delivery process. So he worked with us for literally hours that day, getting soaking wet, muddy, taking it off the truck. Basically the most educated guy in terms of like engineering it and trying to move it through the campground. Great leadership skills. Honestly, I don't think we could have done it without him. So I think his name was Gary. Shout out to Gary. He was phenomenal. I was beginning to doubt ourselves because this was not on the right truck. Obviously, it should have been on something that could have rolled into the campground further because we had to move it over 100 yards. And not only did we have to move it, but it was soaking wet, and some of the ground had been recently trenched for the water lines and the electric lines that had to go there. So we ended up getting stuck, had to pull it out with the truck. And yes, we were open for business this day. Luckily, it wasn't that busy, but it wasn't a great look. And I ended up giving a few people comped stays because of how chaotic this ended up being. Final push for the night, and then it's going to be set. And then this PVC over here and this electric work is going to be done tomorrow. So it's all set up. One last push. Let's see if we get it on. At this point in the process, it was clear to me that this bathhouse was not going to be in use that night, and probably not for the next couple of nights, but it remained a goal of mine to get it up and running by Discovery Day, which is when we were inviting a bunch of franchisees to come in to experience Ferncrest firsthand. And this bathhouse is really an integral part of that because this represents what they would be getting at their own properties if they were to sign up to be a Ferncrest. It was really important to me that this looked as best as possible. But it's also important to me that we use it as a proof of concept and working out the kinks and being able to tell people that, we went through these challenges of getting it delivered, getting it built so that they don't have to is probably a good thing, not a bad thing. It turned out amazing though. I mean, look at the interiors of this. We got sort of a campground feel, but really elevated for the glampground experience. I'm really pleased with it, and I can't wait to see how the guests are going to interact with it. But getting this bathhouse delivered was just one of the many things I wanted to get done before Discovery Day, so time to get going on some other things.
Okay, I gotta pull this through or else it was gonna cinch up in the tent and then the drainage wouldn't work.
So we have a packed house tonight. It's Discovery Day, which is potential franchisees coming into the property to see the property for the first time. We got to make sure that everything is looking nice. The biggest issue we have right now, I guess this spring, love was in the air and some birds have started to decide to make nests in the vent holes on top of the domes, and there is stuff all over the bed. We're talking like unusable sheets, okay? Where could that come from? It's like a swallow or something like that is getting up into the vent holes and actually building nests up there. So this nest is already gone, but there's another one that we have to take care of. And this next one actually, I saw Miss Mama up there. I'm gonna have to ask her to politely leave. So Discovery Day, we have 17 potential franchisees coming from all over the country. We have people coming from as far as California, from Texas, from Virginia, from Michigan, Wisconsin, Maine, Georgia, the list goes on and on. This is the first time we've ever hosted an event like this at the property. We're in season 3, so I feel somewhat secure about having people come here to enjoy it, but I'm also pretty stressed out because it's not just a normal guest. These are people that actually want to build a Ferncrest on their properties. So it's a pretty big deal. Like they're coming to check out the actual home location of the potential brand that they're joining. So dirty sheets from Bird's Nest, definitely not okay. Other stuff that's not okay that still has to sort of be taken care of is the family dome tents. Those are brand new still, so there's a lot of things that have to be done, like making sure the air conditionings are working. It's in May, but it's gonna be pretty cold tonight, so heaters have to be working. Oh, there she is. Oh no, she's looking at me. Oh, there she goes. Mama, where do you want your nest? Where is she? What type of bird is this? That sort of like a pasty nest. There's eggs. Where would you like it? 5 beautiful eggs. Before anybody judges me that's watching this, look at how nicely we took this out. Look at how beautifully she built this nest. But we're not gonna play with it. It had to come out of there. There was absolutely no way. All the dirt's coming into the tent. I didn't touch the eggs, so hopefully that means that we're in good shape. I almost feel like something in bush here. It's gotta be in the shade, right? How about even here where she can find it? Look at this. I think this is the best bet, something in here. Let's make sure that it's nice and tucked. This is also a good branch because it's thick, so it'll hopefully hold the nest and not fall down. Yeah, I think that's our best bet. We've done our done. We've done our duty. We've done our done. I just pushed a ton of dirt in though, I think. What's next? Our new bathhouse going in, which is gonna get some piers for the awning that's gonna be put in. So it's gonna dig up that whole area up there. We gotta spread some gravel. But really the most important thing is all the tents. All the tents have to be made up in the entire property, which is the first time this season. That's putting a little bit of pressure on everybody to get done because it's not only just making them up, it's making them up in a good way. Whenever you see trash, you gotta pick it up too. There's some things that aren't gonna get done for Discovery Day. As long as you can sort of accept it as a natural part of the campground, it looks good. But for me, it's still again, a little bit of an insecurity about making this place perfect. I gotta remember that it actually is pretty beautiful when you're here, and it's quite different than being at home.
People who expect it to be perfect probably aren't the ones to get into this business.
You're right. If they're expecting Four Seasons resort style,
yeah.
But if they want true campground, this is pretty awesome. Let's go check out the bathhouse and see what progress is being made up there. I really hope we're not gonna have the deck built for the event, which is a bummer because it's gonna be quite a bit of a step up into the bathrooms because the deck is gonna be the actual platform that you walk into the bathrooms from. But if we can get it connected and plumbed, which is being worked on now, they would be usable for this weekend. Not this weekend. It's Monday. I keep on forgetting. What do you think of it?
Looks good.
Yeah, it does look good, right? And like that sort of like with the rocks around it, and I had the boys plant these trees here. What's being worked on right now with the bathhouse is all the plumbing. So here's where the outdoor showers are going. These won't be usable this week because the deck has to be built out here and the drainage down to the septic. So you can see this is already being scraped away here. So that's where the drain is gonna go for the outdoor showers. There's gonna be a platform here. So this beautiful like landscaped area now is turning into sort of the entranceway for the showers. So you're gonna have like maybe even a bench out here. If you're waiting for a shower, you can be here. The deck here is gonna be covered with an awning. This is an ADA bathroom, so there's actually gonna be a ramp sort of like out to here. So the deck technically ends here and then it slants down here. The interiors are looking really good. But like I was saying, without the deck, it's a big step up. Believe it or not, this is ADA size, so this is good for handicapped. Yeah, I mean, way better than any other campground bathroom that I've seen. But what's going on today is this gravel is here because the delivery of it tore up this entire area, and now we're gonna have 3 post holes that are gonna get dug here in the next hour or two. We're gonna throw in the sono tube, the cardboard tube that you fill with concrete, and make these piers similar to this right here, out here for the awning to sit on. So the awning will basically come out about 4 feet here, and it's gonna wrap around this entire bathhouse over to here. So we're gonna have decking that goes up into underneath here, and then this is the outdoor sink. And yeah, check this out. Isn't this pretty awesome? Let them do their thing. They're putting the roofing up now, so that's the metal roofing that's gonna go up. We really want this to be like, it's not gonna be 100% done, but we want it looking good enough for these potential franchisees to come and enjoy. And we'll tell them what's going on, but I mean, I think it's still a pretty impressive little bathhouse. The other thing I really wanna make sure we get done is this area, even though I would say the maintenance area is not a place that really matters for day-to-day operations for people visually. We're gonna have a full tour of the campground. So people coming back here, we have this big pile of trash essentially. These are the PVC pipes that we rolled the structure on. And then these are the old Crest tent covers. So we don't have enough trash space, but I think we'll probably stash them away in another spot so that at least you don't have this trash pile here. I ordered this, so we had a little nicer rope. It was like a wire before.
Nice.
Classy. There's some numbers that are missing the ones on them. So 18 right now looks like 10 to 8. 16 looks like 6 because they're missing the number 1. Of all the numbers, we don't have any more ones. I also need to label the keys because the family domes still don't have smart locks on them. Any of the leftover numbers are the ones that are in the final cabinet then? Correct. Okay, all right. Not in the yellow bucket, so we are missing reflective numbers. First guest hopefully doesn't arrive until 3, but to be honest, they could show up whenever. So I think what I'm gonna do is we gotta go, there's 3 keys in those doors, so that's pretty important that we probably take that. I think we'll do green, just keep with the Ferncrest theme. The 4 has, and a single line if we wanted to go straight. I promise you when we have a franchisee set up, it'll be a lot more accurate than this, but that'll be a 1, right?
Perfect.
It's all cut, all right. I don't know how many we need, I think 2 at least. All those times helping Reagan cut out things is paying off, you know. There's the new 1. Her idea originally. She did this, she said 7 though, and then I said 4, it's better now. So these are the domes that still need the smart locks, and until then, we're just gonna go ahead and, I hate these keys. That's why we get rid of them. They're like super confusing. These are the only keys we have, so we'll take 1 and we'll leave it in the door for the guests, and then we'll take the other 2 and we'll keep them aside. Not the professional look that we want, but we will ask for forgiveness and everybody will be okay. You see this one? This one looks really cool with the pond frontage. Look how pretty this one is.
Wow.
And then you got like,
Oh, I like that better.
this one you have like
Oh, wow.
water frontage, pond right there.
This one's really nice.
This is probably the most important part of getting this tractor today, was to make everything look nice in front of the bathhouse, because it's sort of like the thoroughfare where people come in and go to their domes and things like that. So really want to get those piers in, because once we get the piers in, then we can spread gravel. And I don't want to spread gravel and then put the piers in later, which, yeah, probably should have done it in retrospect when we put in the piers for the bathhouse. because we could have just had Doug do all of that at one time. Now we're actually pouring concrete piers, which is just a little bit more of a thing. These are cardboard tubes that go in the ground, fill it with cement, put a couple rebars in there. That's a pier. So then the fence post can sit on top of that and it's good to go. It's 2:08. Guests can technically arrive at 3 o'clock. We got chaos in downtown, which is now my new name for this stretch of road here, because check it out, we got like the bathhouse, now that it like feels like a main street coming in. Like you enter the campground, you got the first bathhouse, you got the camp store, you're gonna have what's gonna be the game room, then you got the camp store right here on the corner, and then you got that. It's like Disneyland downtown, like Main Street USA, Disneyland, you know? This is the original location, so there's some anomalies here that are not gonna be consistent with what like the franchise should expect, but it's similar to Disneyland and Disney World, right? Like, are those two exactly the same? No, they're not. Like, Disneyland was the original. Disney World is like bigger and better. In some ways, it doesn't make Disneyland any less the original. This is like gonna have some of that like character that like won't exist anywhere else as we standardize things, the sign packages and everything that we have to do to get this like buttoned up so it can be replicable, but it's gonna be different, and that's okay. And all right, but Wi-Fi is not working, which is a big issue. I wanna like Starlink so bad because I hear it's good, but like I have not had good luck with this. It's a mesh, so this one has to be like ultimately the strongest one. So maybe we put it over here because it's meshing over to the trailer and then to the camp store. Oh, I just saw a flash. Yes, hell yeah. Nope, gone. I wonder if these are just like crap at this point. Something's wrong. The other thing was last year, which is really, really weird, but there was something about like the mesh actually making the internet worse, because like when the other meshes were on, it was actually like almost like canceling each other out. Let's kill this one and see if that makes a difference. It smells like donuts in here. I suppose the donuts are. I'm sort of hungry. How are the donuts? What could the donuts be? I don't know if we actually solve the problem or if we're just getting lucky, because I feel like every time it's like sort of like Russian roulette, whether or not this is gonna, see, now it's connecting again. See, and then this is supposed to light up, and so it disconnected on me again. So I don't know. I'm gonna pause on this because it's frustrating. We have another Starlink on the other side of the campground. Go check on that, see if that can be up and running, and then check in with the guys, see where the holes are at. And I gotta change a lock. There's a lock battery that needs to be changed, so I gotta go find the little, the bit. There's a little specific screw bit that opens those locks that I gotta find, which is like finding a needle in a haystack here, but.
Who do you think is going to be the first person to show up?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. Honestly, I would give Wisconsin a pretty good chance at it. I think the Baraboo Ferncrest location, I know they're driving. I don't know how far they drove yesterday, but I would definitely assume that people are gonna show up at 3 o'clock, and my money's on Greg and Mia. Here's Georgia, all right.
Yeah.
Ho! You do not always expect to find something when you walk into that shed, but found it. Uh-oh, somebody's here. It's a New Jersey license plate. New Jersey. I know who it is. It's Daniel. We'll go greet them,
Okay.
and then we'll go finish our chores. Howdy. Yeah, nice to see you. Have you been here before?
I've not been here.
Okay. Welcome to Ferncrest then. I was wrong. He's from New York. It's Pranay. Him and his business partner, Anurag, who's in Texas, are interested in, they haven't bought land yet. They're looking all over the place, and they've been talking to Riley for a couple months. So, yeah, he's excited to be here. You know what? Let's go check, make sure his dome's ready. Good enough. I don't even need to go in. Yeah, we're gonna go change out batteries on that one dome. They couldn't make it simple. They had to do a little star bit, which is like frustratingly, like if you don't have this tool, you can't change the batteries. Rebar. Little strength action here. Look at that. Pound those in. Oh, beautiful. All right, go change that lock. I've been saying that for an hour. It is amazing how like doing the work in the spring was such a good thing, because like this entire area now was dug up and it doesn't look like it. If anything, it looks nicer now. These batteries were brand new, so don't know why. It would already be out. Hopefully there's not an issue with the lock. Good. This 4, I have more 4s, so if this can't be, this is so bad. Actually, do I have more 4s? I just cut them all up. So now ideally I have to sort of follow the, even though 2's not straight. Looks better than it did, right? Yeah. It just goes to show there's places like Promised Land everywhere in the country. Everybody has their own Promised Land, whether or not it's literally called Promised Land, which this is. Okay. You get it. So, again, thank you for making the trip.